Hello, people. Welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. It is time for your first opposition preview of the season. I'm really excited to bring you this one. Of course, it is against the old enemy, Manchester United. It's even a bit of a sickener to have them down there, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. We've got to speak about them. But listen, all joking aside, I have a fantastic guest on today's opposition preview. It is Terry from the Football Terrace, absolute goat of YouTube. Great at what he does. As I say, make sure you check out the Football Terrace if you haven't already. If you've been sleeping under a rock, the link is in the description. But yeah, we're going to pass you straight over to Terry now. Listen, it is a new format, something I've never done before when working on All Leeds TV, and I wanted to trial something a bit different. So let me know in the comments if it works, because I've really enjoyed putting it together. You know me, I'm a technophobe, so for me to be able to do this, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. But I'm going to hand you over to Terry now.
And this is the moment when I take a stand.
I'm Terry from the Football Terrace. Make sure you hit the like and the share button. Subscribe to this channel right now. Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of people will ask whether I'm happy with Man United's business so far this summer. 110%. I have to be happy with it. One of the best centre-backs in the world has come in. One of the best young creators in the world has come into Manchester United. We've had no casualties, no Pogba, no Martial, no big stars leave to weaken the squad. I think there may be one more that comes in, but some players do have to leave. Probably the only kind of smudge really on Man United's summer has been the fact that we haven't been able to get rid of Phil Jones. You know, Matic is still here. Lingard is still here. Players that are really not going to play too much for us next season. I would have loved to have seen them have been given an opportunity to play elsewhere. But it's been a really positive summer for Man United. My hopes for the new season, progression. And I always talk about this, and you have to be contextual. Do we have a better squad and manager than Man City, than Chelsea, than Liverpool? I'd say 95% of the footballing population would say no. So therefore, do I expect us to win the league? I can't. This isn't the Fergie days where going into the beginning of the season, I felt that we were neck on neck or better than everybody. Plus, we had the greatest manager ever. So I kind of look at it and think progression, more points, more wins, and closer to the title. Then if Man City and Chelsea are not as good as we expect, we've got an opportunity to go in there and win it. You know, we could be the best team, but I want to see progression. I need to see a domestic trophy land this year, and I want to see us go deep into the Champions League. Quarterfinals as a bare minimum, but the semi-finals would be great. We have the squad for it. The question still remains whether or not we have the manager for it. In terms of going up against Leeds, tactically, we've got to try and outrun you. The fitness levels of Leeds United are impeccable. Good quality football players. I'm not taking away from their footballing ability, but at the end of the day, your work rate is, I think, what helped you have such a good finish for your first campaign back in the Prem. We're going to have to match it. And if we match it, we'll have better quality than you on the ball. But we've got to be willing to work from that first whistle into the last. And we can't allow any kind of setbacks to go against us. The way you beat Man City towards the end of last season, I think was you wore them down. It wasn't about them giving up. It was a battle of attrition. You wore them down and they just didn't have anything left. We can't allow that to happen on the opening game of the season. Ollie needs a very good start. And Leeds are a horrible team to play on the opening day of the season. No doubt about it at all. In terms of Man United's danger man, I'm going to have to say Bruno Fernandes. That will trigger Pogba's fanboys, but hear me out on this. Paul Pogba's going to pull the strings in midfield. I'm pretty sure of it. But Bruno Fernandes, since joining the Premier League, has been practically inevitable. He beat Frank Lampard's goal-scoring record in the Prem last year. The most goals in a single season for a Premier League midfielder ever. And you just can never look beyond him. He could be having the worst game in Man United history and score a brace in the last 5 minutes and win us a game. That's a clutch player. Clutch players should always be looked at as the biggest dangers to a team. You've got to look out for Luke Shaw, what he's doing on the left-hand side. Paul Pogba, as I've already mentioned. Not sure if Jadon Sancho is going to start. It's going to be an interesting game for him to return to. Maybe he's going to come off the bench. And him up against a few tired legs could be very, very dangerous for Leeds as well. In terms of Man United getting a result against Leeds United, as I've said, battle of attrition. Make sure we work the hardest, we run the most, and we don't allow ourselves to be overrun in midfield. I think we've got to put a lot of pressure on Calvin Phillips on the ball if he indeed is playing, and your midfield regardless. It's going to be really important for the engine room for Man United to ensure that we are all guns blazing. And then we've got to spread that play. We've got to keep ourselves as wide as possible and try and penetrate behind your back line. If we do those two things well, we can beat Leeds. If I was to take any Leeds player, I think Calvin Phillips is quality. I think he's a little bit disrespected by a lot of Premier League fans. He'd do very well in Man United's midfield. Definite upgrade on what we've already got. The next element I would look at would be Rafinha. I think he's very, it's hard because we've got such good inside forwards ourselves, but Rafinha's something different again. You know, he's a great creator. He's a great dribbler. And I know Sancho can do it, but I would still bring Rafinha in. Great pressure on top of other players in our side. It would just give us so much strength in depth. And you know what? Like, a lot of people don't like him, but I think Bamford's proved a lot of people wrong. Now, if he has another good season like next year, who knows? With Cavani leaving, maybe there's an opportunity there to bring in a striker like him. But I think Bamford's very talented as well. And in terms of the score prediction, I'm going 2-1 Manchester United. 2-1 Man United. Bruno Fernandes winner. Cheers for having me on. Let me have my say. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for this channel right now, everyone. And I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
There you have it, guys. That was Terry's thoughts from the Football Terrace. And if you aren't a Leeds fan and you haven't been here before, listen to what the man says and make sure you subscribe to my channel and obviously smash a like on the stream. And what I want to do is just pick up on a few points that he made throughout the questions that were posed. Remember, guys, I'm going to ask these same questions to each opposition fan that comes on. But yeah, I thought obviously Manchester United have done some great business, bringing in Jadon Sancho, Varane. You know, he's an elite level centre-backs, won multiple Champions Leagues. No doubt that will improve them. I thought it was quite interesting when he was speaking about Lingard. Obviously, no one wants Phil Jones. No one's taking Philip Anthony Jones. No one's taking him. But I did think it was interesting hearing him speak about Lingard because, look, although Lingard obviously didn't want to rock up at West Ham, that's evident. I think probably a move probably would do him good because for me, he's not at Manchester United level, if I'm being honest. I get he wants to stay at Manchester United and he likes doing all this stuff with his mates from younger years, but it is interesting to see that he's stuck around at the football club, obviously sees himself as being able to play at that level. Moving on, when he spoke about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, how, you know, it remains to be seen whether we have the manager to, you know, challenge for the top spot. It's a madness, man. I think it's crazy that he even got a 3-year deal. As an opposing fan, as we all know, we find it quite funny, innit? Ole in, etc. And listen, there is naturally a lot of hype around Manchester United from their fan base at the moment due to the great summer that they've had. It's one of the best they've had for some time. So naturally, their stock's high. Now, I've been saying this for a time. I would love nothing more than Leeds United to rock up at Old Trafford, beat them on their home soil after all this. Jadon Sancho's come on, Varane's come in, and just watch it implode. Watch the Ollie outers come out and all that sort of stuff, because it will happen, won't it? It will happen. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Ollie. He's not fit to lace Marcelo Bielsa's coaching boots, if that even was a thing. You know, just touching on what Terry spoke about as well, about the work rate and how they need to match us. I remember when we played Chelsea and Frank Lampard, and there was no way he was losing that game. I know it's a little bit off piece, but what I'm saying is Chelsea run more in that game than they did in any other game during their season, and they went on to win the Champions League. So Terry's bang on. He's saying you need to match Leeds United at their levels in order to get a positive result. And I think, for me personally, that's how we win the game, because I do think we win the game. I'll give you my score prediction a little bit later on, but I know they're elite level footballers, but I'm not sure they're going to be at peak levels like Leeds United are. We know under Marcelo Bielsa, we start notoriously well. First game, 3-0 of his first season. Second season, we won 3-1. Third season, yes, we lost to Liverpool 4-3, but we were on it from minute one. What a game of football that was. So Manchester United need to be able to match them levels. Can they? I'm not so sure. We'll have to wait and see. He obviously picked up Bruno as his danger man, and of course, he's different gravy. You have to admit that fact, regardless of if he's a Man United player. And I think personally, he's got a point to prove because his Euros were a washout. He wasn't great at all. And one player that had a fantastic Euros from a Leeds United perspective was of course, Calvin Phillips. And for me, I know we got beat 6-2. You know, we get reminded of it enough. But in the game at Ellen Road, where it was 0-0, I thought KP did a fantastic job on him. You know, Terry went on to speak about how he would take Calvin Phillips, you know, and Rafinha, of course. We're going to find that a lot of people during that question will give them answers. But I think, you know, Calvin now, as shown as he can operate at that level, at the Euros, you know, getting to a Euros final, doing what he did to Bruno Fernandes in the reverse fixture. I expect more of the same, or I'm hopeful of more of the same. And it was nice to hear Terry speak about Bamford as well. You know, put some respect on Bamford's name because not a lot of people do. So that was class. And then for his score prediction, as I said, he said 2-1. It's going to be the other way for me. 2-1 Leeds United. I do see a gallant, amazing performance coming at Old Trafford. Fans back in the ground. 3,000 Leeds fans singing from the raptures and us nicking it. I do. Of course, we've got to be mindful of Jadon Sancho coming off the bench. If it's deadlocked at that point, he's that man that can unlock that defence, as Terry touched on. But listen, I'm bouncing for the game and I'm feeling very, very positive. Quite, you can't even aim quietly confident because I'm just confident. And like my top says, the North is ours, yeah? Match none together. War of the Roses and all that jazz. But listen, thanks again for watching the opposition preview. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments. I'm going to be following this format throughout the season, so hopefully it works for you. Thanks to Terry for taking the time to come on because I know he's a busy man. He's an absolute goat of the YouTube game. Make sure you check out the Football Terrace. The link is in the description. It's always got Clash Chat on there. I even get involved sometimes myself as well. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll leave it there. I'm rambling now. Let me know what you thought of it, guys. Have a great day. And yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Peace out now. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.